Having Our Say, the Delany Sisters First 100 Years. This is on their website, havinoursay.com, which is managed by Amy Hill Harf, which is the co-author of this book. The Delany sisters are here in this picture. Dr. A. Elizabeth Bessie Delany, which is to the left, and her older sister Sarah Sadie Delany, which is to your right. The Delany sisters were a pair of Saturnine sisters who made a lasting and unique contribution to the story of race in America by sharing their wit, wisdom, and life stories in Having Our Say, their 1993 oral history book co-authored with Amy Hill Harf, the journalist who introduced them to a national audience when she wrote a 1991 profile about them for the New York Times. A New York Times bestseller for 117 weeks and a classroom favorite, Having Our Say was one of the most widely read and influential books of the 1990s. The book was later adapted to the Broadway stage and for film. The Delany sisters defied stereotypes of being Black, female, and aged in America. Their candid recollections provided insight into their prejudices with which Americans still struggle today. Born in the late 1800s in the South, the Delany sisters, Sarah, known as Sadie, and her little sister Elizabeth, called Bessie, were the daughters of a man born into slavery. Their mother, a woman of mixed race ancestry, could have passed for white but chose not to. The sisters and their 8 brothers and sisters were raised on the campus of St. Augustine School in Raleigh, North Carolina, where their father was an Episcopal minister and vice principal, and their mother a teacher and administrator. In late life, their father was the first Black person elected bishop in the Episcopal Church, USA. As young women, during the World War I era, the sisters moved to New York City, joining the Great Migration of Black Americans in search of opportunity in the North. The Delany sisters' accomplishments were extremely rare. At a time when few women and even fewer Black women received a college education, the Delany sisters earned advanced degrees from Columbia University. Bessie Delany was awarded a Doctor of Dental Surgery degree in 1923, and Sadie Delany a Master's in Education in 1925. Both embarked on groundbreaking careers. Bessie Delany became the second Black woman to practice dentistry in the state of New York, and Sadie the first Black person to teach domestic science at the high school level in New York City public schools, a job previously reserved for the whites. Living and working in Harlem, the Delany sisters knew many luminaries, included Dr. W.E.B. Du Bois, Booker T. Washington, James Weldon Johnson, Eleanor Roosevelt, and Paul Robeson, as well as entertainers such as Cab Calloway, Ethel Waiters, Duke Ellington. The Delany sisters' recollections in Having Our Say provide new insight into what was called the Harlem Renaissance of the 1920s and 30s. The sisters lived together all of their lives. Although each had opportunities to marry, they declined, knowing they would be expected to give up their careers, which they were not willing to do. Being independent was more important to them. Bessie Delany died at age 104 on September 25, 1995. Sadie died at age 109 on January 25, 1999. They are buried beside their parents in Raleigh, North Carolina. In this beautiful picture here, we see the black and white picture of Dr. A. Elizabeth Bessie Delany, who is a little sister of the pair. She appeared in her 1923 yearbook of Columbia University School of Dental and Oral Surgery. Again, she was the second Black woman licensed to practice dentistry in New York State and practiced in Harlem for many years. Here is the older sister, Sarah L. Delany, which is shown in her college graduation photo, was the older of the pair. Here are some famous quotes. I like this one. We hate phones. You have no peace when you have a phone. And that's why we refuse to have one. If they paid a man 24 hours a day to answer it, we still wouldn't want a phone. Bessie and Sadie at age 100 and 102. It took me 100 years to figure out that I can't change the world. I can only change Bessie. If it helps one person, it's worth doing. This Jim Crow mess was foolishness, was pure foolishness. It's not law anymore, but it's still in some people's heart. I just laugh it off. I never let prejudice stop me from what I wanted to do in this life. The Lord thinks I am beautiful, and so do I, even with all my wrinkles. Neither of us ever got married. That's why we've lived this long. We never had husbands to worry us to death. Bessie Delany at age 102. Let me know what you think about these two sisters. I think it's beautiful. So here's a book on my own at 107. This is the older sisters, Sadie Delany. It is also on Amazon.com that you can purchase. This is really kind of heartbreaking. You know, the older sister lived to 107, but she mourns in this book, you know, how she lived at 107 by herself without her younger sister, Bessie. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Talk to you soon.